Welcome, everyone. We have Alina from Energy Healing Tarot and Astrology reading with us again today to be talking about codependency in relationships. So please, Alina, take it away. And as always, thank you for being with us.
Hello, everyone. I'm so glad to connect with all of you in another brand new episode. And in this episode, we talk about how to heal codependency with energy healing. So, what is codependency? The basic definition of this is having a very unhealthy attachment to a specific person. It could be a romantic partner, it could be any other family member, it could be your work, it could be your boss, it could be colleagues, or anyone. So the signs of codependency is self-sabotage, people-pleasing. So when it comes to taking a decision about prioritizing your own needs, you always prioritize your own needs, and in the process, you sabotage your own needs. Then you have very poor self-esteem. They don't feel confident enough about themselves that I matter, my life matters, and my needs matters. They always prioritize their other people's need over themselves. Then there's extreme lack of boundary. There's fear of abandonment. They feel like if I say something, if I voice my opinion, other people will leave me or will be angry with me. And there is imbalanced give and take dynamic. Codependent people, they always keep giving to others, and in return, they receive little to nothing at all. Then codependency is an anxious attachment style among the basic 4 types of attachment styles. And codependent people always constantly need for approval for others. And they are often control freak, that they need to control the situation, or they need to control their performance, their standard, what they do, their every action in order to get the approval of others. Then let's try to look at some of the basic reasons for codependency. It could be childhood trauma, that your parents were narcissistic, abusive, dysfunctional, and somehow abandoned you or put you in a place where you develop this codependent behavior, that you need to always keep doing things for others, otherwise your existence doesn't matter. It could be adulthood trauma as well, like how some people, you go to an office and the only reason you get paid is because of the money. Yes, that's okay. But I think you also should be treated as a human being other than being an employee. So in your adult life, your younger siblings, your old parents, your life partner might groom you as a codependent person. So drug addiction can also be a reason, because without the drug addiction, you don't have a sense of yourself, like what are you without the drug? Then chronic physical or mental illness can also give codependency. Culture is something that, you know how in some societies, the society tries to groom men and women in certain way. They have certain gender roles, that men are supposed to make money, otherwise they shouldn't exist. Women are supposed to be beautiful. They're supposed to take care of the family members, otherwise they shouldn't exist. So other than that, you have victim grooming, different types of victim grooming. It can happen in office, it can happen in school, it can happen in the family. And chakra imbalance, because I'm going to talk about that with details, with pictures, so you would understand what kind of chakra imbalance that codependent person has. Then I'm also going to talk about in details about the afflicted planets in your natal chart, because if your sun, moon, or rising, the ascendant planet is afflicted, then chances are that you can become a codependent person.
Interesting.
So is there any example in your life where you ever felt like you are a codependent?
For myself, I've been in a few different relationships where I felt codependence. I don't think I ever had a feeling of codependency with my mother. I don't think so. But definitely with relationships, absolutely.
Okay, so let me share one example with you. Women in general, I think men also, like I told you, like how the society tries to put them in a certain gender roles. and groom them as codependents. Okay. So let me share one specific example with you. There's a single mother, and this mother doesn't have any other family members other than her only child. And the son grows up to be a very abusive person. He's 25 years old. He doesn't try to get a job. He even brought his girlfriend to live in his mom's house, and the single mother is paying for his son and also his son's girlfriend. Anytime the mother says that, okay, you need to go get a job, this son threatens to commit suicide.
Oh, that's not good.
It's a very heartbreaking situation for the mother.
Yep.
It's emotional blackmailing. Okay.
Yep.
So in life partner situation, both the man and woman can be a victim of codependency, like how a woman can blackmail a man to be the money maker. And I've also seen that women try to make men invest money in places that they don't want to invest. And if they don't take the financial decision, then the relationship will end. So in order to save the relationship, this men, they try to be the money maker machine.
Yep.
And the woman as well, they've been victimized to sabotage their needs and to keep everyone happy. And then the sibling, what happens between the siblings? So the oldest sibling often be a victim of codependency. That's how the parents groom them, that, okay, you're the oldest sibling, so you take care of your younger siblings. To a certain age, that's okay. You help them do their homework, you pick them up from the school and stuff, you teach them driving. But when your younger siblings are growing up and you see that they are not taking the responsibility of their life, instead of you try to fix their problems, you should let them be independent and let them figure out life by themselves, right?
Yep.
But if you do that, the society, the people might criticize you. It happens in my country a lot that the oldest sibling takes care of the younger siblings, all of them. And if they don't do that, they're criticized.
Yeah, it's very, very similar here. It's not, I wouldn't say it's necessarily an expectation in our culture here, but it is very common. And like in my personal life, I'm the oldest of four. So I have three younger siblings, but the closest one to me is 6 years younger, and the furthest one away is 10 years younger. So there was a large chunk of time where I was in that role of taking care of them, to the point when I was 16, we weren't financially fit, and my parents were going through a split up. So I actually had to go to work full time while I was still in high school to be able to help out.
Okay, so have you, like, right now you're aware of your codependency behavior. So do you think that that awareness that helps you to control your behavior and to step into your personal power?
My awareness behind it, yes, now, but it took a very long time for me to get my awareness and then be able to accept it. There was quite a bit of time when I was aware of it, but I kind of just had the mentality of screw it, it's just easier if I do this. It's just easier if I do this for them or whatever, right? So having the awareness was the first step, but then accepting it and being like, you know what? It's their life. They have to make their decisions and make their mistakes. That took a while for me as well. I also didn't have any help around that. It was something that I discovered on my own and navigated on my own. So if I knew someone like you back then, it probably would have made the journey a lot faster and a lot smoother. But because I was very stubborn and didn't reach out for help or didn't ask anybody any questions, it took me a long time to get a grasp on it.
All right, so you're going to talk about in detail how to deal with energy healing and how to connect with supportive groups. Let's go and see. So this is the picture of a codependent person's chakras. Okay. So as you can see, the dominant overactivated chakra is the heart chakra. Our heart chakra governs our compassion for others, which is, you see, is overactivated beyond the personal boundary. So they let people in,
Right.
and they also forget what is the personal boundary. All right, so the root chakra is also overactivated. So they take action. It's not only that they feel the compassion for others, they also take action, be proactive to save others. It's almost like when they see someone else in crisis, they kind of stop themselves from taking action to save that person.
Okay.
Rather than asking themselves the question, that person should try to save himself. So you will also see that the other chakras are also imbalanced, and you see, because of this overactivated heart chakra, the throat chakra is contracted.
Right.
So they have trouble saying no to people. Like when someone asks for help, they can't say no to them, right? And their immediate below chakra, the solar plexus, that is also very small because they lack personal boundary. They have the lack of personal power, the personal identity.
Makes
The
sense.
sacral chakra is also imbalanced and contracted because their self-worth, their connection is only limited to certain people, places, and work. Right. Now let's see the chakra of a narcissistic person, because it is quite common that codependent person, when there's a codependent person, they could be surrounded by narcissistic people, either one or many. Now, there could be codependent relationship without the presence of a narcissistic person. That is possible, but most of the time, the presence of narcissist person is very common. So let's see what happens in the chakras. So a narcissist person's solar plexus is overactivated beyond the normal level, right?
Right.
Okay, so the immediate upper chakra, that is the heart chakra that governs the compassion for others, which is small. So they do not feel compassion for others. Their only focus is on themselves.
Right.
And their throat chakra is also overactivated. The time that they talk about themselves, what they need, what they want, not about others.
Yep.
Their sacral chakra is also imbalanced. They cling onto people, places, and things that can serve them and give them energy, whether it's money, attention, power. Then the root chakra is also negatively overactivated, so they take action. All the action that will require them, help them to cling on to people, places, and things like a parasite so they can feed off them.
Mm-hmm.
All right, now here is a side-by-side comparison between a codependent person and a narcissistic person. Can you identify the basic difference?
Negatively activated hearts and negatively overactivated sacral.
And
then underactivated, basically the opposite, underactivated heart on the narcissist and underactivated sacral on the codependent.
Definitely. So this is how you see how they attract each other like magnets.
Yep.
Okay. So next we talk about the similarities between codependent person and narcissistic person. Okay. So you see in the middle, they both have insecurity. They both have fear of abandonment. They both are reliant on others for their own existence. They both need the constant attention, validation, approval from others. Otherwise, they feel like they don't exist, right? So, but how they react to it differently, that is different. Like the codependent person would be more of a people pleaser. The narcissistic person will be like taking from others.
Right.
The codependent person will have low self-esteem, and the narcissistic person will have great self-esteem. It's like entitlement, what you say.
Yeah.
All right. The self-care, what they do, codependent people, is for others. I mean, they feel that they will be considered as a good person when they take care of others.
Mm-hmm.
So the main focal point is the others, other people. And for the narcissistic people, the main focal point is on themselves.
Gotcha.
Okay. So here is the chain reaction in chakras of a codependent person. So as you know that the root chakra is negatively overactivated. They are extremely proactive in saving others. But when it comes to taking action for themselves, defending themselves, they can't do it for themselves. All right. What happens in the sacral chakra is they attract toxic people towards them. They have unhealthy attachment style, which is the anxious attachment style. They have little to no boundary, and they have imbalanced give and take in a relationship. What happens in the solar plexus is there's lack of personal power, there's lack of independence. What happens in the heart chakra is they're people pleasers, they're codependent, they're disconnected with own emotion and needs, and they're very much connected with other people's needs. What happens in the throat chakra, they're unable to say no to people, they're also unable to ask for help from others. And what happens in the third eye is they lack the intuition and they ignore the red flags of people. Like someone tried to emotionally blackmail them and they can ignore that.
Mm-hmm.
So what happens with the crown chakra is they lack the rational thinking. They are more emotional than rational. So that is the reason why they make poor decisions in their life and they can get manipulated very easily.
Makes sense.
Now, there are some astrological reasons behind codependency. So if someone's Mars is in 1st, 5th, 7th, or 11th house, these people might be in a violent, abusive, dysfunctional relationship. It could be codependency. It could be any other type of dysfunctional relationship as well. Because 1st house is yourself, your head. 5th house is for happiness, relationship. 7th house is for life partners. 11th house is your older siblings and also your peer group, your network. 3rd house is also very important because 3rd house is your younger siblings. 4th house is also very important because 4th house is the family, 4th and the 2nd house. I think in all the houses are somehow correlated, but I think major 4 houses that I have mentioned, they're important to see if someone is becoming a victim of codependency. And if someone's Sun, Moon, Venus, Jupiter is with any kind of malefic planet like Saturn, Mars, Rahu, or Ketu, then they can become codependent person. How? Sun is yourself, your personal power, that's solar plexus. If that is afflicted, then you don't have the sense of yourself. You always try to look for your validation from others. Moon is your mind. So if your mind is afflicted, then you are manipulated, you're blackmailed, and you fall victim to other people's manipulation. Venus is for harmonious relationship. So if Venus is afflicted, then chances are you would end up in abusive relationship. Jupiter is for family. Jupiter also signifies husband in a woman's chart. So if your family members, they groom you in a way that you can become a codependent person. Other than that, the signs like Cancer, Scorpio, Libra, Virgo, Capricorn also might be a victim of codependency, but other ascendants also can become codependent. Because Cancer, Scorpio are water sign and they're very emotional, and Libra is an air sign, Virgo, Capricorn are earth sign, and earth sign people are very reliable people. People rely on them and people try to just leech onto them like parasites.
Mm-hmm.
And if someone is running through a malefic planet's time cycle, then that can give them the codependent behavior as well. How to heal codependency with energy healing. The first thing that we need to do is cord cutting. So a lot of people that I have seen that they return home, but they still have this imaginary conversation going on with people. They feel like if they could have done this, if they could have said this, they are not really detached from the work and people and places. So cord cutting is very, very important. And if someone is very sensitive, like they have overactivated heart chakra, they need cord cutting on a regular basis. Okay. So if there's something, a specific person in your life that's quite narcissistic, then you have to do the cord cutting and also maintenance, because once you cut the cord, cords can be attached again, because anytime you will hear the name or see the face or have any kind of interaction, that might attach your cords again. All right, so the thing is cord cutting on a regular basis.
Right.
Then our target is to balance your chakras. So your balanced chakras would look like this.
Okay.
Okay, now let's see what happens inside a balanced chakra. So in a root chakra, you will take action when you need to take action, and you will also learn how to defend yourself, and you will restrict yourself from toxic engagement. Like other people are trying to hoover you in their toxic engagement, and you will refrain yourself from that. With the sacral chakra, what will happen is you will attract positive people in your life. You'll have healthy attachment style. You'll have safe boundary. You'll also have a balanced give and take in relationships. What will happen in your solar plexus is you will develop personal power, independence. What will happen in your heart chakra is you will learn how to prioritize your own emotions and needs. What will happen in your throat chakra is you will be able to say no to people when you have to, and you will also be able to ask for help when you have to without feeling any kind of guilt and shame. What will happen in your third eye is will develop intuition, and you will also be able to identify people's red flags and hidden agendas. Then what will happen in your crown chakra is you will be more logical and rational rather than emotional. So that will help you take good decision in your life. Other than that, we have affirmation, because you need to really tell yourself that I accept and value myself just the way that I am. Then you also need to prioritize your own needs. Then you need to tell yourself that I am safe and secure in my relationship. My relationship has balanced dynamic of giving and receiving, and I have a world to feel proud of outside of my relationships. Then with the crystals, you need to have the heart chakra and solar plexus chakra related crystals to balance these both chakras. And the next thing is we have this step-by-step codependency recovery process. Doesn't have to be that way always, depending on what kind of codependent you are. So depends on what works for you, but these are the basic things that you can see. Steps of recovery will include, in the first stage, you will identify what is codependency and how you are displaying your codependent behavior in life. The second stage will be healing your childhood trauma or adulthood trauma, the one thing that is attracting or developing this codependent behaviors within you. The next thing in the process would be stop letting people blackmail you to take advantage of you. And the final stage will be, well, you will be able to form interdependent relationship, the healthy relationship in your life. And the other types of solution that we have is cognitive behavior therapy. And we also have support groups like Facebook, we have Meetup, and there are some of the links that I have mentioned here, we can go and check them. They have online meetings all over the world. So depending on the country that you are, depending on the place that you live in, try to connect with these support groups. It will help you to connect with them and to learn from them. So no matter what age you are, no matter how much of a codependent you are, it is possible for you to live a healthy life and attract positive people in your life. So it's good to connect with support groups. Do you have any question?
Yes. So would you say that energy healing is better than something than CBT? And if so, why?
Because cognitive behavior therapy, what happens in there is when you do that, but you still have a lot of guilt and shame associated about maintaining boundary, about prioritizing your own needs. And it's very consuming that you're saying no to people, but you are being consumed by the guilt and shame, and that's consuming you.
Mm-hmm.
So what happens in the energy healing is the unhealthy cords are detached from your system, so they don't drain your energy. When your chakras are balanced, you behave in a balanced way. So that's how I believe that energy healing is better than cognitive behavior therapy in so many ways. So, and it is also cost effective. So you can take a program of energy healing and then try to watch some videos on YouTube, like how to have boundary, how to practice boundary, how to say no to people, how to prioritize your own needs, how to identify your own needs, and you will be good. I think otherwise, cognitive behavior therapy, spending a lot of money in that, um, is not very helpful because the cords are still attached to that person, and that's draining your life force energy. So
Mm-hmm.
it's not really helping you 100%. I think energy healing is a better solution in that way.
Gotcha. That makes sense. So, what is the duration of your program, and what exactly do you do with your clients during energy healing, cord cutting, and all of that stuff?
So first of all, we're going to do a discovery call where we'll try to find out what the person is going through, how long has it been, and about the person's budget, about how much time and energy that they can put in to recover themselves from, because they need to be conscious enough to put in the effort, right? Like how much conscious and aware they are to let go of those unhealthy attachments. Like I told you, between a mother and son situation, right?
Right.
So I'll in that situation, I'll ask them like, because your son is threatening you to leave you or to commit suicide, which can you be strong enough to put a strong boundary?
Mm-hmm.
I have to ask them. So depends on how much effort they are, how much conscious effort they can put in, and um, so and also depending on the level of codependency that they have, is it moderate or is it severe? Is it someone like a parent, or is it a life partner, or is it the only child, or is it the if they try to prioritize themselves, would it cost them to leave their entire family? These kind of things that I need to talk to them about.
Mm-hmm.
And depending on all these things, there's a program from 7 days to 30 days, depending on their situation. And even after the one program, they need to have follow up, because I told you that cords can be attached again.
Mm-hmm.
And once you do something, you solve one problem once, but you need to have follow up in the future. So maybe after the program, they might need healing once or twice a month, depending on the situation.
Cool. Seems pretty fitting. All right. Is there anything else that you're wanting to add?
No, I just want to tell people that in our next episode, we're going to talk about narcissism and how to heal narcissism with energy healing. Both of that, I mean, the person who is a narcissistic person, and also for the person who is the victim of narcissism.
Ooh, guys, you heard it here first. Narcissism is it's a hot topic in culture today. So make sure you tune in next week to be able to catch all of the information on that. I know that it's going to be a wealth of very useful knowledge, especially just on people understanding and learning what true narcissism actually is, because that's also a term that I hear thrown around entirely too much. So that'll be good. I'm looking forward to that one, Alina. All right. If that is everything for today, guys, please like, share, and subscribe. Your support is always appreciated, and that is literally the only way that this message gets out there. So I appreciate you guys tuning in today. Thank you again, Alina, as always, and I look forward to next week. Take care, everyone.